Hey guys, my name's Donovan, and welcome to Brewing the Good Life, the only finance channel where you can have a beer and talk about your finances with me. So let me give you some background information about me, and we'll jump into today's episode. I'm a litigation paralegal. I have an associate's degree in art. My wife, she's an accountant. She has an associate's degree in general studies. We're not anything special. She makes about $70,000 a year. I make about $63,000 a year. Combined income before taxes, $133,000 a year. So you're asking yourself, what can I do? Why am I qualified to tell you guys about personal finance? Well, outside of my education and my job experience, I've read almost every book under the sun. I listen to personal finance podcasts such as Caleb Hammer, The Money Guy, The Dave Ramsey Show, and several others. I love personal finance. It's something I grew up with. It's something I just enjoy. Does that mean that I'm special? Does that mean that I'm perfect and didn't make mistakes with money? Hell no. I made plenty of mistakes with money. I thought I could out-earn my stupidity. I thought I was better than everybody else with finance. The fact is I wasn't. I had debt. I came out of college with $10,000 worth of student loans. My wife had $10,000 worth of student loans. We had over $20,000 in car loans. We had over $20,000 in credit cards. We were normal, just like everyone else. We were living paycheck to paycheck. We had no savings. We had nothing. At the height of my savings, before I really got into this, I had about $5,000. And I had a conversation with my wife. I said, hey, what are we doing? Why are we here? And why are we doing this? Why is it that we are making so much money? At the time, we were making $80,000 a year. Why are we making $80,000 a year and we got nothing to show for it? We didn't. We had about $5,000 in the bank, and that was it. We couldn't afford our payments, and we were coming up on being 26 and having to worry about health insurance. We couldn't even afford that. We were stretched to the max. And so we decided to drain our savings account down to $1,000. We did the Dave Ramsey plan. And it was awesome. Let me tell you, living like you're broke because you are broke, it sucks. It's humbling. But something changed in us. And determination happened. And within the next 18 months, we got rid of over $60,000 worth of debt. But did that stop us from going back into debt? No. Our mindset had definitely changed, but our behavior hadn't, just like everybody else. You hear Caleb Hammer talk about it all the time. Behavior, behavior, behavior. My behavior didn't change. My wife's behavior didn't change. And we went right back into credit card debt. And we did it a few times. And although I'm ashamed to say it, it took us a long time to get out of it. But now we are. And now I'm here to tell you that it is possible. So what are my goals with this channel? What are my goals in life? And what are my goals to help you all? My goal with this channel is to show that a normal guy from small town Arkansas can do it, and so can you. My goal is to show you that you don't have to have a crazy income of $500,000, $250,000. You don't need a bachelor's degree in business. You don't need an MBA. You don't need to be a stockbroker like the Wolf of Wall Street in order to make it in life and live the American dream. You just need to be an average guy like me and be willing to make some sacrifice and humble yourself so that you can be there for your family. My goal for this channel is to help you prepare for your family, to help show you that you don't have to be living paycheck to paycheck, that there is another way, and that I've done it and you can too. So how do we get there? Well, there's a lot, but it's simple. And I do exactly what rich people do. I pay myself first. But how did I do it? I started off by assessing my finances. My wife and I sat down one day and we said, what are we going to do? And we wrote down what I call the four walls. Our housing, our transportation, clothing, and food. What would that cost us a month just to get by and make sure that we've got those four things? And then we wrote down our minimum debts. All the minimum payments for our debts, didn't matter what order they were in, we just wrote them down. And then we said, how much money do we have left over at the end of the month? And all of that went towards our smallest debt. Yeah, we decided to do the snowball method. Is there anything wrong with it? No. Is it mathematically correct? No. Is it emotionally correct? Yes. Does it have a higher success rate than the avalanche method? Yes. So that's what we did. And so we followed these simple steps in order to get to where we are today. And let me tell you, where I am today, I own a home. I still owe a mortgage on it. I got $234,000 left to pay out this house. It's not a crazy house either. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,800 square feet. It's your average American home. And it's below the median household value in my area. I didn't buy anything crazy. I bought the cheapest house in the nicest neighborhood that I could afford, so that if I wanted to move, I knew that I would get the best resale value on it, and that I had the best appreciation in order to build equity. But I followed these simple steps. I generated a 1-month emergency fund while getting out of debt. My wife did her employer match. My employer didn't have a match at the time, and that's okay. My employer still doesn't have a match now. We tackled high interest debt. That was anything over 5.5% except for our mortgage, credit cards, personal loans, student loans, car loans, anything like that, we tackled it. And then we started investing 15 to 25% of our income. Depending on your age, depending on how much you've set back, and depending on your situation, it's going to change. If you start really young, you can start at that 15%. But if you make mistakes like I did, like my wife did, you're going to have to raise that. And so right now we're putting back 25% of our gross income, every paycheck, into retirement. That can be in 401k, that can be in 403b, it can be in Roth IRA, it can be in traditional IRA. I don't really care. Just do anything. Because something is better than nothing. And if you do something, you'll be able to retire with dignity. And then we started saying, hey, we want to be able to pay for future expenses like our kids' college. And so as soon as my child was born and we got a Social Security card, I opened up what we call 529. And we started paying into that. And are we doing enough? Probably not. We do $100 a month. But something's better than nothing. And it's all we can afford at the moment. But I do know when my kid goes to school, she's going to have a nest egg. And if she decides not to go to school, the great thing is she can convert that nest egg over to a Roth IRA. And she can become successful from it. So either way, I'm making sure that she's taken care of. And finally, then we're going to tackle low interest debt, which we haven't even got to yet. We're not even tackling our house yet. All we're trying to do is hit that 25% right now, and we've done it. We need a few more pay raises before we can start moving forward for the rest of the goals. But that is what the rich do. That is how you make it. That's how you get the American dream. So let's dig in some details. Let's put pen to paper, and let's put my money where my mouth is. What have I done? I'm going to look down at my phone for a second, and I'm going to give you a breakdown of what I've done. Right now, I've got about 3 to 6 months worth of an emergency fund now that I'm out of debt. I paid my debt off. Now I'm working on my emergency fund. I've got over 3 months of worth. I've got $22,500. A month of expenses for me, $5,000. Now, my property, I've got $132,000 worth of property. That's equity in my home. I still owe a lot of money on it. But, my assets outweigh what my debts are in that aspect. And every time I make a payment, I update how much equity I have so that I'm up to date on what my true net worth is. Investing in my brokerage account. My brokerage account is used for long-term savings, anything that I'm planning on over 5 years, saving up for a car, saving up for capital expenditures on my home when I need a new roof or a water heater or AC or something goes wrong, those types of things. retirement and other investments, which would be additional retirement outside of just my normal retirement, because I use my HSA as a retirement plan. My total net worth today, $281,636.65. You tell me, is the American dream still real? To me it is. I'm 28.1% of the way towards a millionaire. Now you're thinking, holy cow, $1 million's a lot of money. But it's not. $1 million isn't much anymore. Let's look at the 4% rule. When you look at Monte Carlo simulations, when you look at sequence of return risk, really you need to be doing about a 4% withdrawal rate in retirement. 4% on $1 million is $40,000. $40,000 isn't a lot in today's money. Now let's fast forward that another 30 years when I want to retire. 3% interest or 3% inflation over the next 30 years. Yeah, 40 grand is going to be nothing. So really what I'm looking at is I need about $5 to $6 billion, and so do you. So how do we get there? We go and do the steps that I did. Take action today. Sit down with your spouse. Sit down with an accountability partner and make the changes needed. You can do it just like I did. I believe in you, and you need to believe in yourself. The American dream is obtainable. So let's just do it together. Let's sit down once a week. Let's have a beer, and let's talk finance. Let's dive deep into these different categories I explained today. Let's dive deep into how we can make this happen. And let's do it together, because I think by doing it together, even if I only help one person, I change somebody's life for the better, and that's what I do. That's why I got into the legal field. That's what I've always wanted to do, is help people. Whether it's helping somebody that's been in a car accident, whether it's helping somebody in a medical malpractice lawsuit, whether it's helping somebody that's struggling financially, I've always wanted to help people, and now I can. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this takes me. I'm excited to see where this takes you. So let's toast a beer to each other, and let's have a good time. I believe in you, and I hope you believe in me. Until next time, keep brewing the good life.